In this video, we'll be looking at Fowler syndrome. Now, this is the patient profile. So, a young female patient comes to you with complaints of not passing urine since the past 10 or 12 hours. You notice that the patient is obese, she has acne, and she also has facial hair. She says she was diagnosed with polycystic ovary syndrome a few years ago. She gives you no history of dysuria, she gives you no history of vaginal discharge, no history of pelvic trauma, she gives you no history of sexual promiscuity. So, what could it be? Now, this is the patient profile of a patient suffering from Fowler syndrome. Basically, in Fowler syndrome, the patient comes to you with retention of urine, and she also has history of polycystic ovary syndrome. She gives you no history of she gives you no history which is suggestive of having suffered from urethritis or from any other STD a few years ago, and she has no history of any pelvic trauma which could suggest a stricture. So then, what is the cause for the retention of urine? In Fowler syndrome, there is an abnormal myotonic discharge in the striated urethral sphincter. So if you look at this diagram, this is the bladder and this is the external urethral sphincter, and there is an abnormal myotonic discharge associated with this external urethral sphincter. This external urethral sphincter is a striated urethral sphincter. Now, how do you diagnose this condition? You diagnose it by doing a sphincter electromyography. So, in this diagram, you can see over here, this is the cross section. So, on either side of the urethra, this is the urethra. On either side of the urethra, they've placed electrodes which will detect the electrical activity in the external urethral sphincter. How do you treat such patients? The treatment is always intermittent self-catheterization. You can teach the patient to do an intermittent self-catheterization so that if at all she gets this condition in future, if she gets retention of urine in future, she knows what to do. You have to reassure her that this is not a harmful condition, this is not a progressive condition, and that if she can manage the acute episodes with intermittent self-catheterization, she'll be fine. There is also a newer modality called sacral neuromodulation, that is sacral nerve stimulation. This can be either non-invasive or invasive. Non-invasive is the transcutaneous nerve stimulation part. In this figure, we are seeing an invasive thing where there is a subcutaneous implant which has been placed. Because it is subcutaneous, it acts very well on the sacral nerve. It acts specifically on the sacral nerve, specifically S2, 3 and 4. So it will give impulses to the sacral nerve and it will prevent the abnormal discharge. You should remember that there is no role for urethral dilatation in such patients.